Okay, what's going on? LBHT crew, B, Hendo, what is going on?
Another day. More movement
Nothing.
in the NFL.
That's right.
Absolutely nothing. Except
Not
we
absolutely
stole y'all
nothing.
guy.
Yeah, it's not
So
absolutely. Yes,
your defense is crumbling before your very eyes.
it's bad news for the Ravens offense. Okay, like it says in the title, bad news for the Ravens offense, comma Panthers sign Jadeveon Clowney. Okay, those are two separate stories, but it looks like one story. Okay, but we talk Ravens and Panthers over here, so I had to make it flow. All right, but yes, big news for the Panthers, and we got, as always, things to talk about for the Ravens, even in their inactivity period. Right, which is the off season.
Yes.
But it is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well. But if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter X, and Twitch. So wherever you're listening to us, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you are listening to the audio podcast, if you're listening, make sure you're followed there wherever you listen to your podcast. Make sure you give us a 5-star review. Make sure you share it with your friends and family. All right.
Mhm.
You guys like the background? That's a little something I threw together last minute. Okay. This side right here is the Baltimore side. That side over there, that's the Charlotte side. Okay. All right. It's a
And
little
notice
something.
that Hendo's on both.
Yeah, I can't do anything about it. Sorry. We gotta get another guest and then we can even that out. All right. But yes, we're I told you guys, man, we're always trying something new. All right. We're always trying to push the envelope. Hendo does the same thing over his channel. He's always, we're always trying to give you guys a cutting edge experience, if you will. All right. So hope you enjoy it. Let's see who was here in the chat. Oh man. Oh, Bazel. He's first. Salute to Bazel. Thanks for coming through. Just Aloe says, "What's up, LBHT crew? I hope all is well with everyone. Can we trade EDC for the Panthers GM? At least he's trying."
That is
Ooh,
disgusting, just Aloe.
ooh.
We don't abide that kind of talk here.
Just pump the brakes a little bit. I like what Dan Morgan's doing. Okay, but we'll see. We'll see if it all works out. Okay, it is the off season. They haven't played a game yet. All right. IB saying says first to hit that like button. Oh, that's what counts.
What's going on, Bazel?
The Wheezy in the house says just Dan Morgan is not for sale. Oh, there you go.
Is he not?
Well,
No, he's
we'll
not.
see. We'll see how the team
Yeah,
looks.
not yet.
Right. I got Jared Green in the house. Says salute, brother. Salute to you, Jared.
What's
Thanks for
up,
coming
Jared?
through. Appreciate that. That damn Dub 20 says still no John Harbaugh has been fired notification, eh? Not yet. Not yet. I don't think it's gonna come either. Urban Closer says, "Yo, Coach and Chris sent me. They sure did. I hope you guys checked out their video. All right, over there on Sip2 Tally Films. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe over there. They're covering wide receivers. I caught a little bit of it. Very good video. All right, we got our girl Yolanda in the house. Says, good evening, LBHT. Sad day for the flock. I miss Clowney already.
He's not dead, Yolanda. It's fine.
He's gone to a better place.
We got Alfonso Richardson in the house. Says Ravens fans rather get another edge rusher instead of a lineman.
Facts.
Oh, we're gonna talk a whole lot about that, Alfonso. A whole lot about that. Okay, this is gonna be a continuation from last week to Monday to Tuesday. And now. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna discuss that. Daniel Franklin, what's going on? Says, yeah, losing Clowney sucks, but we gotta let the young guys play. I agree. That's why they always say about the offense, we've got a first, second, and fourth round picks at edge. They got to play. Bingo. That's what I'm going to go with. But I mean, do the whole thing. Don't sign Matabike as well. The young guys play on the line as well. Jemiah Barnes in the house. What's going on? Thanks for coming through.
What's going on?
Big Reg in the house says, what's up, my peoples? What's going on, Big Reg? Who else we got in here? Did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. Alex Alex is here.
Alex.
Says,
What's up,
whoa, Harbaugh background on the stream is looking clean. Thank you.
Alex?
I kind of lucked out. I kind of found these things at the last minute, but it worked out. So, all right. So we have a lot to talk about. All right, and we have some new scenery that we want to display here. All right, but first, we like to start every show. What are you doing, B?
I changed into the Black History Fact.
You're not supposed to do it yet. Where did Hendo go?
And Hendo didn't sign in properly, so Hendo's getting booted. Is what happened right there, and I just goodness, Hendo, like come in. Yes, because I made you a speaker on the show, and you signed in as a guest. So now, despite all of my hard work making all of the scenes with 3 people, every time we switch, you get out of here.
You want me to leave and come back?
I mean, did you even get the email, Hendo?
I got the email that I logged into here with.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Oh,
we're going to start this Black History Fact. Okole, please save us.
Jesus. And actually, it's not here. What happened?
Oh, disaster.
That's all right. I'll do it the old-fashioned way.
Welcome to this week's Black History Fact. Solitude, a remarkable Guadeloupean woman born into slavery in the late 18th century, defied the odds to become a symbol of resistance and resilience. She faced the double burden of racism and gender inequality in a society deeply entrenched in colonial oppression. Yet Solitude refused to be silenced or subdued by her circumstances. Instead, she emerged as a leader within the burgeoning movement for freedom and equality in the Caribbean. Not much is known about her early life, but it is believed she and her mother escaped slavery and fled to the hills of Guadeloupe to live among other escaped people. When in 1802, Napoleon sought to reinstate slavery in French colonies, Solitude joined activists Ignace and Delgrès and fought back. On May 28, 1802, during the Battle of Matuba, Delgrès, Solitude, and the rest of their forces were driven back to Fort St. Charles. Outnumbered and facing certain defeat, they ignited their gunpowder stores to kill as many French soldiers as possible. Solitude survived the blast, but was captured and executed after giving birth to her child. Her last words were, "Live free or die." Literary works such as André Schwarzbart's La Mulâtre's Solitude have immortalized Solitude's story, ensuring that her legacy endures as a testament to the indomitable spirit of resistance. Through these narratives, Solitude's voice continues to echo, challenging us to confront the legacies of colonialism and strive for a future defined by justice and equality for all.
Every single time.
That was your fault. Salute to Solitude, okay? What's going on, Jeremy? He said Hendo blame Nightbot.
You are also muted, Hendo. I don't understand. I don't get
you got to unmute yourself, Hendo. Yeah, I had to mute Hendo during the video. It doesn't automatically mute you. No. So, all right, we'll discuss afterwards. Okay, it's a new setup. It's fine. That's fine. We're working out. We're working it out. B did this last week. He started out the show muted. He didn't tell you about that. Yeah.
No, sir.
MDT Sports, what's going on? Says, what's up, OGs? What's up with you, man?
What's going on?
All right. Okay. So, what we want to start with? You want to start with the breaking news, or we want to start with the same old news?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's all NFL, right? So
it is all
with the NFL talk.
Yes, NFL talk. Yeah, you like that, huh? You like that? New little transition video. Got the new background. Oh, okay. Somebody's alarm going off. Who's that?
Unprofessional.
Is that you?
That's Hendo again.
Which one of you is?
That's 3 strikes for Hendo, man. He didn't even make it to the first topic.
Which one of you has your alarm set to for quitting time? And I only know that's the quitting time button because B did the same thing.
I know. Okay. We used to do it all the time. I ain't worried about it.
Not all the time. No.
All right, a disastrous way to start the show, but that's okay. We like to have fun here. Okay. All right. Let's start with the breaking news. Jadeveon Clowney to the Panthers. All right. Now, this is an important signing for the Ravens because, for the Panthers. I'm sorry. Important signing for the Panthers. I mean, you stole him away from the Ravens. He showed last year that he's still a capable edge rusher, right? Is he one of the top in the league? No, but he's pretty good. And you guys signed him for a 2-year deal. He was actually looking to come back to the Ravens, and he was looking at the Jets, but both teams didn't want to commit to 2 years. They only wanted to give a 1-year deal. And the Panthers said, "Oh, you want 2 years? Done. You got it." And if you look at all the moves that the Panthers have made in a vacuum, you can look at them and say, "Yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah, not bad. That's pretty good." Deontay Johnson, good wide receiver, not great. Clowney, good, not great. You got some offensive guards, Robert Hunt, Damian Lewis. Okay, that's cool, right? But they are showing that they are serious about making the change there, right? Mm-hmm. You have to be a little bit more aggressive in getting these type of players to put together a competent team. And I think it's going to pay dividends for them.
Yeah, I mean, they're essentially trying to get from where they were last year to just being a respectable team. And they got to get in a lot of just, solid veteran players to make that switch. They were bad all over the offense. Everywhere on offense, they were terrible last year. They had talent on defense, but even they broke down after a while. So now they're going out and they're not getting one big splash player, or signing, but you're getting multiple guys on the O-line. They put in work at the wide receiver position. Now they traded some guys away on defense, so they're going back and trying to backfill those spots as well to make sure they're not what they were last year, which was like one of the worst teams in history to watch.
Hendo, how you feel about the signing for the Panthers and the Ravens not signing them? I mean, this kind of connects both teams here.
As far as the Panthers go, I love it. For me, even if it doesn't work out, they're showing, Dan Morgan's showing, listen, I'm going to try everything in my power right now to make this team better, to show them in the future that, listen, it's nothing off the table. Like, if we need to make this move, I'm going to make it. We were terrible. We were deficient in certain areas, and I'm trying to upgrade these certain areas. It may not be the best signing in the world, but we're better. Whereas the Ravens are like, we're going to make one splashy signing and say, it's a day. We'll try to get Jadeveon back at a cheap price. He was like, no, I perform for y'all, so I need my monies. Ravens like, we gave it all to Matabike. So shout out to the Panthers, and for those haters that like to come in here and say, B, what about your Panthers? What about them? They're trying. I can't say that about the Ravens. The Ravens have many deficiencies, and they made their deficiencies even worse during the offseason.
So, I am curious what the gatekeepers are going to say, even right now and tomorrow, about Jadeveon Clowney, because just 24 hours ago it was, we got to bring Clowney back. Oh, and we got a donation from Yolanda. Salute for a $20 donation. What's that say, B?
Let me pull it up here. I missed the actual thing. Let me grab that real quick. Thank you very much, Yolanda.
Thank you, Yolanda. And that's a new animation there. It kind of shot me for me. I heard the crouching. I was like, "Oh, they love us."
I am very upset about Clowney going to the Panthers. I wanted him back, but I cannot blame him for getting his money.
Yes. Shout out to you. If you want to be awesome like Yolanda, we don't even have our you don't have everything set up here, B. Oh man, I don't see any QR code.
Strike forward,
yeah. I don't see the overlay. That's all right. No, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Anyway, if you want to be awesome like Yolanda, there are two ways you can do that. That's all right. You don't need a QR code. Nobody uses it anyway, right? $ LBHT Show. That's what you need to remember. That's our Cash App. Also, the pin link that you see in the chat box will take you to our Streamlabs page. Both ways. Leave a donation. Leave your comment, and you can see Microphone Man do the Park Heights strut. Oh man, that's what that's supposed to be. The Park Heights strut. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, look. There's a QR code on the screen.
I don't see no overlay. Well, that's all right.
Yeah, look at that.
I don't see no overlay. That is the QR code.
No, the overlays don't fit.
You can move them wherever you want to. You can put them right down in the lower
No,
left-hand corner.
I understand that. But the way we have them, they don't fit. So I did this last night because somebody invited a third person onto the show without having everything set up.
I'm sorry that.
Like, well, whatever.
I'm sorry that I invited our friend to hang out with us. My bad.
Goodness.
Hey Jose, it's okay. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, so I understand.
Wow.
Everybody has favorites, I guess.
Okay.
No, I am curious to hear the narrative tomorrow about Clowney, because just 24 hours ago it was, oh yeah, we gotta bring him back. I mean, Ojabo hasn't shown us anything. Owe hasn't shown us a whole lot either. We gotta bring back Clowney and Van Noy, right? So now that Clowney's off the board, is it going to be he wasn't worth 2 years?
Yep.
Right? He wasn't asking for a whole lot of money. We couldn't give him that 2 years. He was asking for too much. He wasn't that good. He was a product of the system.
Mm-hmm.
But then why'd you need him back? Draymond got ejected from the game, and all of a sudden the Warriors want to play twice as good. He got ejected again.
His game just started.
It's time. It's time. You got. I mean, rest of the year suspension, and then we'll talk about next year if he can come back. All right, we'll get to that later on. So, no, good sign for the Panthers. Actually, before that breaking news, I wanted to discuss J.C. Horn, the possibility of J.C. Horn being traded. That there's some rumors floating out there that he could be on the move. How do you feel about that, B?
He's a good player, very, very talented player, but he's been hurt every year he's been in Carolina. So it's difficult to say, yeah, no, go ahead and extend him, right? Because you don't know that you're going to be able to rely on him playing a full season. And, in that situation, it's kind of tough. They're rebuilding, obviously. And I think if they can get, obviously everything depends on the offer that you get. If they get a good enough offer, I think you go ahead and move him. Like I said, he's been hurt every year and significant injuries every year. So, you don't want to just hold on and say, hey, maybe he'll kind of get over it, and then get left moving him for I don't know, second round pick like you did Brian Burns.
Right.
So if you're getting good offers now, you got to really consider it.
Okay. What you think, Hendo?
I think they should get rid of him. I like him. His father played in Baltimore for the Stallions, and I always
so old, man.
I always follow his kid. But when you have J.C. Ojabo, you got to let him go because he's bringing no value to your team. I mean, you had the option of getting Justin Fields. You took him instead, and it just didn't work out. So it's time. It becomes a time in an organization's life when you just have to part ways, give them a fresh start, let them be around different trainers and certain things like that, different staff, and just wish them the best. But he hasn't done anything. He was a top 12 pick, right?
He was the 8th overall pick. They passed on Justin Fields. They passed on Rashawn Slater. They passed on Devonta Smith. They passed on Patrick Surtain, who's a better corner. They passed on a lot of guys. They passed on Micah Parsons.
And this is one of these moments, right? I don't even want to say that I don't want to tell you I told you so, because I want to tell you that I told you so. That we told you so. Okay, we did a video on this, saying that drafting J.C. Horn was a mistake. And again, it wasn't that he was a bad player, good player, wrong pick. The same thing that we said about Patrick Queen, right? But those Panthers fans that left those comments, ooh, where you at now? And it wasn't even like that. That isn't even one of those hindsight things. Like, he was hurt when we made the video, right? We're just like, yo, like we said it before the draft. Gotta go quarterback, or you gotta go offensive line, right? And after they made the pick, we said, bad move. We did a video saying this is a bad move. Like it was a bad pick. What are you laughing at, B?
Danity's a terrible person now.
What's up, Danity?
Danity is a terror.
He said she forgot to download Twitter on her phone. She'll do so now to check the message that he sent 2 weeks ago and then delete. Thank you, Danity.
The most anti-social person in the chat. Danny, send us an email, okay? You contact us that way. Do you use email, or do you have to send the letter via mail?
Carrier pigeon.
Right. Send a raven.
Right.
But no, man, like this is why I say, man, you gotta stay even keel, man. Like, don't be too high, don't be too low on players and whatnot, because go all in on every single thing. You want to be that rah-rah person every single time. You look silly at times like this, because those same people aren't sitting there now saying can't trade JC Horn. You're saying, yeah, let's see what we can get for him. And that is the question. What can you get for him now? You think you can get a second round pick?
Yeah, I think so. Look, it's a premium position, and he is a very, very talented player.
He is.
Somebody will take the chance on the talent on a young player like that who's still on his rookie deal. Everybody loved to talk about Christian McCaffrey and how he only played 10 games after he got that massive contract, but they got multiple picks, multiple day 2 picks for him. Should have been more, but that's what they got. Is it a little different, Hendo? How's it a little different?
Because Christian McCaffrey established himself to get that second contract. JC Horn's been hurt every year.
Yeah, but he has played. But he's not David Ajabo.
You know what? I take it back. I take it back.
Or Pepe Williams or Jalen Armour Davis.
Listen. CJ Henderson just got another contract, so
he sure did, didn't he?
Facts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, D Weezy.
And Jacksonville got a 3rd round pick from him.
Darius says, I said it from day one. JC was a good player, bad pick. Jose, I said it perfectly. Okay, D Weezy. All right. Obviously, I wasn't talking about you. But who said it first? Who said it first?
This guy.
These guys. Okay. No. Yes. Not every single fan, but you know which fans I'm talking about. Go click on the video. You'll see the comments. All right. But yeah,
I'll tell Jose freezing as a moment, a chance to bring this up, because I thought this was very funny. You mean lack of armor, Davis? Wow.
That reminds me of Star Wars. Your lack of armor is disturbing.
Yeah, Baltimore fans probably shouldn't be talking about other players or other teams' injured players. It's not a great look for you. But you want to move on to the big news for the Baltimore Ravens?
The Ravens had big news?
Oh, they sure did.
I must have missed it. I was working real hard.
You weren't working real hard. Josh Reynolds.
Oh, no, I saw that.
Off the market. See, I told you didn't miss it. Josh Reynolds off the market. He signed with, I believe it was Denver.
Yes.
And, who cares, honestly? But that was kind of the plan for Baltimore, it seemed like. They met with Michael Gallup. They brought in...
that was my fault.
Yeah, obviously. They brought in Josh Reynolds for a visit, and true to their themselves, in true Raven fashion, they're letting the 31 other teams pick their players for them in the offseason. Because, they met with people, but now they're going to sit back and see who is the last one to get signed. And that person is going to be a Raven. And it's not Josh Reynolds, because somebody else wanted Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, I don't like how the Ravens do this, right? They're asked about players, and they say, yeah, we're interested. They'll bring them in for an interview. They'll talk to a bunch of guys that get people excited about, and they won't sign anybody, and they'll do like exactly what B said. Wait until the last person is available and say that's exactly who we wanted.
Right.
Yeah, and sometimes it works. That's how you got Kyle Van Noy and Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah.
But sometimes it doesn't work. That's how you got Alejandro Villanueva and Juwan James.
Facts.
So,
So what happens? So what happens if Detroit decides to replace Reynolds with Michael Gallup
or Tyler Boyd.
or Tyler Boyd? Then what are we going to do?
You're going to get real mad when Pittsburgh trades for Brandon Ayuk, and you're going to say, we need Kool-Aid at 30. That's what you're going to do.
Well, we'll be mad if a lot of your Ravens flock online will say, no, that's the move. You got to counter it with good cornerback play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, we can't protect Lamar. I understand that. I understand Lamar only has one target to throw to. Right? I understand Derrick Henry is 30 years old and he may not hold up the whole season. But, corner. Defense. No, I'm telling you what's going to happen. I'm calling it right now.
We didn't want Reynolds anyway. We didn't want him anyway. He's bad. We just brought him in for a visit just because.
Yeah, he product of the system. Product of the system, guys. I'm gonna tell you guys what's gonna happen right now. We're bringing back Odell.
No.
He's going to Miami.
Odell, yeah, he's got interest. So the Ravens don't like to compete. You know that. So it won't be Odell. You might. No, I was gonna say James Prochet got signed too.
Oh yeah, he got signed.
Not bringing him back.
I
don't know. Yeah.
We like our guys.
Yeah. Andy Isabella.
Well,
let me ask you something though. What wide receivers have retired in the last 7 years? and just grab somebody off of that list.
Oh, we getting Larry Fitzgerald.
The Raven fans will be pumped.
So really, the bad news that I put in the title for the offense wasn't that Josh Reynolds got signed elsewhere. I never expected Josh Reynolds to get signed. The bad news was John Harbaugh's comments from his presser, whatever it was, like the coach's breakfast or whatever, and he was asked a lot of questions about the offense, and his answers for the O-line, very bad news. Okay, obviously, it's still the offseason. They're not going to show their hand completely. They're not going to tell us every move. But the fact is, you have 3 holes on the offensive line. Okay, your 2 guards and your right tackle. It's already hard to fill those holes when you're active at the beginning of free agency. When you're not only inactive, but also sending away another starter for nothing, it becomes extremely hard to get good starting caliber. We're not even talking about good players at this point. We're talking about average starting caliber offensive linemen. It's going to be extremely hard to replace those guys. And what I'm hearing is Faalele is going to be in the mix. That's what Harbaugh said. Faalele is going to be in the mix for right tackle. Mm-hmm. Faalele could develop. He could be, he could be satisfactory. He could be good. But has he shown you anything to this point to tell you that he's a good player? No. Ben Cleveland is in the mix for one of the guard positions. Okay, Ben Cleveland, 3rd round pick. We had hopes for him. It takes time. It takes time for linemen sometimes to develop. But has he shown you anything to this point that tells you he is a starting caliber guard? No. Don't even know what we're going to do at right guard. Right? I mean, we talk about who we have on the team. Patrick McCarvey has played. He's played solid. Right? But he is meant for that backup role. Mm-hmm. Right? To rotate in and out.
He's the in case of emergency, break Patrick McCarvey.
Yeah. No, D Weezy, Ricard is not going to be in the mix. That's the one thing that Harbaugh joked about. Like, we learned our lesson, or saner heads, prevailed, and he won't be working out an O-line. Yeah, it's so funny.
Right.
Yeah. I love the things that they laugh at. Like the fact that you even thought about it. You probably should have been fired. But it's a big joke that, hey, we're doing the right thing. Just like your GM, going after a reporter about the idea that you could possibly be calling somebody about a high-end wide receiver.
Right.
But you know what's funny? You say like how he had these comments, and you don't really expect people to be honest in these settings necessarily, right? But his brother Jim sat down and talked about the offensive line, and he was very honest about it. And he said that it's the most important position essentially in football. It's the one position that can play well independent of anybody else. Everybody else on the field, including the defense, relies on the offensive line to be good for them to be good. You know, and you would just like to hear the Ravens. You like to see, but at least we'll take hearing for now. We like to hear the Ravens put that kind of importance on the O line and protecting the Lamar Jackson, but they just won't do it.
Yeah, Hendo.
Listen, for me, it's the same old, same old. I refuse to watch that press conference because I already knew what he was going to say. I knew he was going to lie. You know, what struck me though were the tidbits that I did hear was, oh yeah, Lamar's involved in this offense. Like he's involved in being an architect of building this offense. Well, you said that before. You said when you were building the car, he was going to drive it. You said a couple years back that he was going to be in control of which direction this offense went. But to me, it's just the same old, same old. And to have these holes and make it worse by trading Morgan Moses, even though we didn't think he was the best, you added another hole, but you're still collectively trying to add on defense. Like that makes no sense to me. But you're saying you're doing everything in your power to make this a better team. You're doing everything to get Lamar the type of operation that we want to have around him. But yet and still we keep signing these backup defensive players. Now, yes, you went and got Josh Jones. He is another Pat McCarry clone, where he's kind of that swing tackle. He can play guard. He can do it all, but he has not been dominant at any position. So now you run the risk of putting Lamar in harm's way. And then when Lamar gets hurt, it's going to be like, oh, see, Lamar can't stay healthy, but you're not going to look at the factors that surrounded why he got hurt. So this is why I really don't like what they're doing. You know, to me, it's the same old, same old.
Yeah, yeah. So let me read a couple of comments here. I see Yolanda. What's going on? She says, she said, Coach and Chris forgot y'all. Now we're here.
It's Tanja.
Oh, Tanja. I'm sorry, Tanja. Tanja, I appreciate you coming through, Tanja.
Yes, I Tanja.
What Jose won't tell you is he did that on purpose because you showed up late.
No. I'm sorry. Noah's in the house. What's going on, Noah? Thanks for coming through. Ray in the house. Do the Ravens front office believe Henry and Lamar will compensate for the loss at O-line? No. Let's see. Killer in the house. What's going on, Killer? I ain't bringing y'all on the screen because these things take too long to come up. But yeah. No, it's so here's the thing. And Manuel's Call of Duty channel says, you know, why are we is this even a thing? It's lives luncheon, because that's all we have to talk about at this point. They're not doing anything. So whether they're lying or not, you know they're lying. But we've seen their actions year in and year out. And we're seeing the players, the top players, go sign elsewhere. So at what point do you start to really question them? Because people don't like when we criticize EDC. They don't like when we criticize Harbaugh, right? Mm-hmm. But when you see Falele is in the mix to be a starter, and not in a mix, he's a starter. Who's his competition? Josh Jones? That's not any better. When you see those are your best options, why aren't you sitting there saying, hold up, what's going on here? We can't have that. Because somebody left a comment in one of our videos saying, oh, y'all wanted to let Madubuike walk. That's crazy. You know, like we need, you know, pass rush up the middle. Like that's important. Well, what about protecting your quarterback? So we don't have a right tackle. We don't have a left guard. We don't have a right guard. And we're filling in the blanks for them. They're not even saying, that's the funny thing. They're not even saying the starters are on the team. They're not even saying that. They're just not really talking about it. But people are filling in the blanks for them. Oh, Voorhees is going to be healthy. Right? A seventh round pick, hasn't played a snap, and has an extensive injury history. He's the guy that's going to step up.
But he was supposed to go in the second round.
But it's pretty funny and telling with Baltimore all the time, really. But especially, you're talking about with Justin Madubuike. People say interior pass rush is important, and it is. If you can get pressure right up the middle, right in the quarterback's face,
You
it's
good, coach?
very difficult
Yes, sir.
for the quarterback to overcome that. You wreck plays that way by collapsing the pocket from right up in front.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen to your O-line and your quarterback?
Right.
And I'm worried about that.
Right.
They look at teams picking up wide receivers and they say, man, we got to go and get Kyle Hamilton. We got to sign Marcus Williams. We got to draft Brandon Stevens. We got to re-up Marlowe. We got to sign these guys in free agency. We got to draft corners in the fourth round to stop these high-powered offenses. And then you turn around and you say, Deshaun Jackson, next man up. Why do you know that offense matters for everyone else in the league, but you can't seem to wrap your head around you yourself needing to score?
Yeah. I mean, this is a circular argument that we have every year. B even called it. He called it before the season even ended. He said, "Wait until we get to the off season, right? You're crying about O-line all season.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's talking about how bad Ronnie Stanley was. We got to get rid of Ronnie Stanley, right? We talked about how bad Morgan Moses was. We talked about just the O-line just inconsistent. We talked about that in the playoffs. And as soon as the season's over, we got to bring back Madubuike. That's important."
Well, Alex Rader has the reason here. He says that Madubuike will intimidate and demoralize the opposing interior D-line, neutralizing the pass rush. No guards required.
There you go. That's the one thing whenever we have these arguments with people, they never want to address, and your front office doesn't want to address. It's okay to question them on stuff like this. You don't have to be a cheerleader for every move that they make or non-move that they make. It's okay to question right now, what's the plan? Because what we have, that's not looking good.
Right.
Like, if we let Madubuike walk, Travis Jones, Michael Pierce, Broderick Washington, fine, right? Those are more viable options. You can look at them and say, yeah, we'll be okay there. Maybe we take a step back. Maybe not. Maybe Travis Jones steps up. But we know those guys can bring a certain level of play. We know that. Mm-hmm. You can't say that about the offensive line.
No.
Not a one.
Yeah.
Except for Linderbaum.
Right.
And just like, to me, the thing that gets me is everybody's like, oh, we don't have to do anything. We can just let the young boys cook. We can get people in the draft. Can you really? I think it's more likely that the Ravens can find another Justin Madubuike in the draft than it is for them to find another Ronnie Stanley.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we EDC has not hit on offensive linemen. He just hasn't. But he's hit on defensive players. So why not let Madubuike go and spread that money around and have a more even-keeled team, especially offensively? Because you knew for years, hey, Ronnie Stanley's not healthy. We may need to replace him sometime in the upcoming future. Didn't get a replacement. Hey, we got these guys on short-term contracts. Draft picks ain't working out. We need to get some guys in here that maybe long-term can gel together. And they didn't do any of that. You went into an offseason with more than 25 free agents. What GM does that? But y'all want to praise him like, EDC out here cooking. Who does that? With no money. 25 free agents and you don't have money.
Hey, all right, look, we got about 90 people over here on YouTube. There's a lot of people watching it on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, Twitter, if you're watching, wherever you're watching, hit that like button, okay? And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. We are a little over 100 away from 2,000 subscribers.
Nice.
All right. So help us get there. Hendo is less than 100 away from 4,000, right?
Yep, 69.
All right. Look, make it happen. Go over to the Rogue Pod, ROUG, Rogue Pod. That's where he's at. Hit that subscribe button over there. Hit the subscribe button over here. All right. And if you're looking for the super chat, you want to be awesome like Yolanda was earlier, that pin link that you see in the chat box will take you to our Streamlabs page, and the QR code that Pete put up there a little late, but it's there now. Okay, $ LBHT Show. That is a Cash App. Either way, you can leave your donation, leave your comment. You get a nice little animation on the screen, and we'll read your comment on air. What are you looking at over there, B?
Hold on.
It's gotta be.
This is the only comment I'm pulling up from you, D
It has to be
Banks.
D Banks. I knew it was.
He says the O line didn't make Zay fumble or Lamar throw a pick. Did Matabike stop the Chiefs from scoring?
Wait. The O line didn't make Lamar fumble in that playoff game. So
He didn't make Zay fumble.
Exactly.
They did in fact make Lamar fumble.
Yeah.
Did that all world defense stop the Chiefs from scoring and win you the game? Or do you need your offense to do it?
He said you'll give us a break today.
You ain't giving us a break.
Thank you, D Banks. Thank you so much. You're so kind.
Hey, come on, bro.
Man, we love D Banks, man.
Do we though?
Yeah, we love D Banks, man. He likes to keep the show interesting. Okay, Dapper Don says many Ravens fans are delusional. Yeah, every fan base has this. Every single fan base has this, right? It's not special to us, but this is our team, and this is the fan base that we're dealing with. So,
Ain't my team. I don't know why I'm dealing with them.
well, because we do a show together. We dealt with your team earlier. Okay.
No, there's nothing to deal with. My team is awesome, and they do the right things.
Now they're awesome.
Yes, now we're not looking backward, Nintendo. Unlike y'all, we won with defense 20 years ago.
Okay. All right. Who did you just sign
For
today?
Ray Lewis and Ed Reed to walk through that door.
Who did you just sign today?
Signed Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh, okay. All right. Defense. All right.
Look,
Tim
everybody has to field a team. You know who they signed first, though? They signed O lineman, didn't they?
They sure did. Our old linemen, the guys we're supposed to get. Tim wants to know, how close are we to bringing back Gilmore?
I think they're very close, honestly. He's talking about Carolina. Carolina had Stephon Gilmore. Because you never had Gilmore, how could you bring him back?
We had Crockett Gilmore.
Oh, Lord. Wow. How did his O-line career turn out, by the way? But yeah.
No. That's right. He converted to O-line. That's right.
Yeah. So, I saw Jonathan Jones put out a crazy stat today. Not a stat, but just a, interesting thing. They've never drafted a player from Clemson, Carolina. Never have. But they've had two players from the same high school in South Carolina. That's Jadeveon Clowney and Stephon Gilmore. Yeah. A couple of years ago, they had traded, I believe it was a 6th round pick to bring in Stephon Gilmore, who was still playing at an incredibly high level. And then in the offseason, they just said, no, we'll keep Jontay Jackson. You can walk, even though you're clearly the superior player, and even though he did want to come back to Carolina. And now that Dan Morgan has taken over, he traded Jontay Jackson, and they're trying very hard to bring back Stephon Gilmore. A lot of people think that getting Jadeveon Clowney in there is kind of, they're trying to entice Stephon to come back and entice Jadeveon as well, saying, hey, you can play with your old teammate. Hopefully that works. But they've been really aggressive. They've not been afraid to pay or overpay players to get them into the building. So I would expect Stephon Gilmore to be a Panther pretty soon.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe he wants to come to the Ravens. He wants to play like a Raven. I guarantee you, if the Ravens want to go cornerback, they'll be aggressive in getting him. That's the one player they'll be aggressive in getting. Everybody else.
Xavier Howard's still available.
He's still available?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but Vic Fangio, he made him look bad in the scheme that he was running, so it made it look like he was worse than he really was. And plus, he's been a little nicked up the last couple of years, so I don't think the Ravens may be as high on him. But trust me, if Gilmore gets signed away, they'll turn in his direction.
Yeah.
He's a good Panther. Don't worry.
What's up, Jay? Says y'all have Matt a Beast and Derrick Henry. Who else do y'all need? Derrick Henry was on the Pivot, the latest episode of the Pivot, talking about how pumped he is to try to compete for a ring, and all that stuff. Like, yeah, all right, man. All right. I mean, I'm over this. Like, I'm not getting hyped over a 30-year-old running back. Is he good? Yes. Do I think he's still gonna play well? Yes. What's he gonna do in the playoffs? What's his team gonna do in the playoffs? That's what I'm looking at right now. And man, I don't know. I just hope he holds up. That's all.
Right. Listen, I saw that. I actually watched that today, and the funniest thing to me was I was watching it, and he was like, "Oh man, 42, 42, that fullback." And next thing you know, 10 minutes later, Ravens publication was like, "Derrick Henry says Pat Ricard is the man, and they're gonna go out there and wreck shop." I'm like, "Come on, y'all, Pat Ricard, this is the big story that y'all putting out. Stop it."
You think 70% of our players are gonna be in the I formation? Like, no, man. Like, don't worry about Pat Ricard out there.
Right.
You need to worry about the O line. Are they gonna hold up for you? And again, that's the thing. Maybe they hold up. Maybe it works out. But you can't plan for this, right? If it happens, then we got lucky. Now, I am going to go a little easy on EDC and just say the season's not, or the offseason isn't over yet. Okay. He could possibly pull some moves off that make us look at the team and say, okay, all right. Now, he's not going to fill every hole. That he's not. But if the rumors are true that they're waiting until after June 1st to get Deebo Samuels, that's huge. Okay. If they work out some miracle and get a guard that either gets cut, right? For whatever reason, June 1st cut guard that can still play, or we trade for one somehow, get a good one in there, and then we end up, drafting a tackle or a good right tackle. All right, it could work out, and we can figure out the other guard position.
But why would he have to wait till after June 1st to go get Deebo?
That was a rumor or something that this one account put out from Chat Sports. They're saying that if they're not saying that that's the case, but they're saying it's a possibility that they're waiting until June 1st, because if the 49ers wait until after June 1st to make the trade, they save like $20 million in dead money or something like that. So it's like a cap move for the 49ers. It helps their cap space if they wait until after June 1st to make the trade. So, and the rumor was that the Ravens were like in heavy talks with the 49ers to trade for him. So it could be one of those things where they know that trade is going to happen, so they're not aggressive in getting these other guys. They're just waiting. That's okay. That's fine. They don't need to tell us about that. That's fine. But I'm looking at the rest of your team. Like, the O-line is more important. I would sacrifice getting Deebo Samuel if you plug those holes. Right.
Yeah, and they could have things planned. They could be working on things, but the problem is it just feels like an insurmountable amount of holes at this point on the offense, and that's because they came in with two holes at guard, and then created a third hole. Like, it's hard to fill positions on the O-line in the NFL. There aren't enough good offensive linemen for every team to have 5 good offensive linemen. Right. So for you to say, hey, we're going to let go of 2 guys, create those 2 holes, and then willingly create a third hole, and then just sit there and just wait while every offensive lineman who's available gets signed, it feels like it's not really possible, for you to fix those 3 holes at once. Because, yeah, there's the draft, and everybody says it's a deep class for the offensive line. That's cool. But we know as fact that the majority of players who come in any class do not pan out, right? And just kind of checking the box and drafting, like, hey, we got a tackle in the first round, hey, we got a guard in the third, hey, we got a guard in the fourth. That doesn't mean you filled those holes.
Correct.
It means you have names that you can put on the depth chart, and even guys who may end up being good, chances are they're not going to be ready to contribute in year 1. Most rookies aren't.
That's why I don't want to hear anything about second, third round picks, right? Oh, those guys are being second round. I don't want to hear about them. I don't want to hear about those guys. I want the guys that are good enough to go in the first round. Because usually guards don't go in the first round. But if a guard goes in the first round, that means he's expected to be a good starter immediately. Right? Linderbaum, center. Centers don't usually go in the first round. And when they go, it's 100%. Every center that's been drafted in the first round has made it to the second contract. That means, oh no, we know he's a certain caliber of player. There's no question about him. We know it, right? So if we're getting a guard first, I want to see a first round caliber guard. If not, tackle. I really think we need to go tackle. Get a tackle, and I say trade up for a tackle, right? Don't wait for one that's left over at 30. Trade up, get the tackle that you want. Let that guy play right tackle this year, and hopefully he's good enough to slide over to left tackle, next year or year after, whenever. But that would take care of the tackle positions. I feel a little bit better, right? We still have to figure out the guards, but if we can get that tackle position locked down, I feel a lot better.
I mean, even still, not to wish anything, but we have to hope and pray Ronnie Stanley stays healthy for a whole season.
We do.
Because if he goes down, then what? Now that's another position to fill. And I know you're going to slide Makari over there and hope that he can hold up for the season. But then you're going to have a team full of young, either rookies or second, third year players. And we're supposed to be making a Super Bowl run. We went to the AFC Championship game last year. So the next step of this evolution is going to a Super Bowl. And you want to entrust one of the most important positions in football to a bunch of rookies and young players that are unproven. I think that's the part that gets us up in arms, is that you're like, let's just try it out and see what happens. Lamar got many more years. If it don't work out this year, we'll try something else next time.
Yeah. Let's see. D-Bank said Debo's built like Kevin Hart. Get serious, guys. Come on. Yeah, tell that to Marlo. Yeah, from a distance, sure. When he got up close on him, he was just like,
I love Ravens fans talking crap about receivers who have actually performed in the NFL like you've ever seen it.
Michael Jackson, Derek Alexander, I've seen it.
Not everyone's as old as you, Endo.
You're right.
Hey, block Turbo Duran.
I already did that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can troll, but you gotta pay for it over here. That's how it works.
Facts.
All right. Don't worry, Turbo Duran. The Cash App still works. D Raven says the way these convos go, it feels like we haven't been good for 20 years.
No, but the thing is, you have a young MVP quarterback. You should be competing for Super Bowls, and you're not.
All right. Because my question to you is, do you feel like we've underperformed or overperformed? Like 2 years, we've had the best team in the league, and we've fallen short every time. With all this talent, especially this overwhelming number one defense that's shutting everybody down, we haven't even sniffed a Super Bowl. So it's not saying that we're bad. Are we spoiled? Yes. As a fan base, we're spoiled because our team does well in the regular season. But some franchises pride themselves on championships, not regular season wins.
I know. I mean, look, the people that watch our show, they already know that we're gonna give it to them straight. So it's not, it's nothing new. But people that are just tuning in, and if you're new here, okay, I see about 100 people in here. Hit that like button, and if you're new, hit that subscribe button. All right. But if you're new here, you don't like how we're talking, because we get those comments a lot. Oh, you guys, like, you're just always crapping on the Ravens, and are you really fans? Yeah, I'm a fan. But what is it? What are you excited about right now? Are you seriously going to tell me that we right now today are a Super Bowl caliber team with 3 missing spots on the O-line, and they don't know who's going to fill those spots? They don't know. You haven't heard them say, this player, we expect this player to take that spot, or this person, they're just like, oh, well, I mean, Voorhees will be healthy. He'll be in the mix. Falele will be in the mix, right? Like, they don't know. So you're telling me today that we're in a good spot, that we shouldn't question that? It's all good? Nah, sorry.
D. Raven says, we are contending, though. We have fallen short, but we've been contenders since Lamar showed up. You have to win at least 3 games in the playoffs to win a Super Bowl. You've won 2 since Lamar showed up. You are not contending. Yeah, you've been great in the regular season, but you're not contending.
Yeah, we've been a good team. And also the expectation is to win. Okay. Lamar Jackson has 2 league MVPs, right? We think he's either 1 or 2 best quarterback in the league, right? We think we have a team that can compete for a Super Bowl at times, or they should be in that talk.
Right.
When's it going to happen? Right? Because I'm not one of those people that are just like, oh, well, we're trying. No. That Chiefs fan, Duran that was just in here, right, talking trash, they expect to win. They have 3 already. Now, and I want to ask y'all, be honest, okay, because I know you guys are sick of Chiefs fans, but do you think that's the last Super Bowl Mahomes going to get in his career? See, B just laughed. He's like, last.
Might get one next season.
I was saying that's not going to be the last Super Bowl he gets in the early 2020s.
Like I'm saying, like, do y'all think that's it? Mahomes just, you got 3 and that's it, or do you think he might win 2 or 3 more? Right? Because that organization put together a team that expects to really compete. Right? Really compete. The Ravens are just getting by. Right? And I know that's the case because, I mean, they're all like Harbaugh's on his way out when Lamar got here. He was about to get fired. Lamar saved this job. And now that they re-signed Lamar, they're in cruise control again. They're like, oh, well, he's here. And as long as Lamar is here, we are going to be competitive. That's what you're talking about, D Ravens, being competitive. But we're not competing for a Super Bowl. Right? They're okay with that. But you shouldn't be okay with that. That's not good enough. We just showed that wasn't good enough. Darius, thanks for subscribing. Darius Ewing, salute.
Appreciate it.
But that's just not good enough, and you should expect more. Especially when you see the teams that are competing stacking up.
And even more to that point, was it 2020? Kansas City Chiefs lost to Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl because of their offensive line. They came in the next season and revamped the whole offensive line and went back to a Super Bowl. They saw a weakness, they addressed it, they fixed it, and went and won a Super Bowl. We see a weakness and say, we need another corner, another edge rusher. That'll make up for all the deficiencies we have on the offensive side. This season, this was the worst iteration of the Kansas City Chiefs that you'll probably see in the next 5 years. And they didn't have a wide receiver that was steady. They had 40 drops during the whole season. And what did they do during the offseason? They cut a wide receiver and said, bring me Hollywood. He may not be the best, but we're addressing a need. The Ravens aren't addressing needs. And I think that's the issue that y'all don't see that we have a problem with. It's okay that you have certain mid-signers because you have to develop depth with a team. But you're not addressing anything, and you're wishing and hoping that these younger players come in and do well. We've wasted enough time with Lamar saying, well, let's go with them and see what they do. No, let's go with them and see what they do. And it hasn't worked out. So at one point in time, you're going to have to say, what we've been doing is not working. Let's try something different.
Facts. And Tanja, shout out to Tanja. I want to address this. She says, don't nobody care what Mahomes getting with the refs' help. They probably will. Okay, even if you believe that, which I don't, I mean, every dynasty, we have this talk about the refs are cheating for them, right? We did the same thing with the Patriots, and they actually did cheat, but that's okay. But but even if you feel like Mahomes is getting help from the refs, that's not going to change, right? It doesn't matter. Like, he's not going anywhere. So are we sitting there saying, well, the refs are going to cheat for him anyway, so we're just not going to win? Or are we going to try to get even better to overcome that?
Right. If you want to win, you better care about Mahomes because you have to go through him.
You have to go through him. He will always be there.
Man. You know the narrative. Oh,
Unless y'all packing up and going to the NFC. I don't know.
the Chiefs are playing on the road this year. We don't know what Patrick Mahomes is like on the road. All right.
He looked mighty comfortable.
He's like Pat Mahomes at home. But, sorry.
All right, look, we've deprived you guys of court of public opinion. Okay, the criminals are out there on the loose, just roaming free, thinking that it's all good. All right, but court of public opinion is back, and oh man, we caught a big fish, B. We got a big fish. Yes. Indeed, court of public opinion is back. He got the gavel in there as well. All right. All rise. Court is now in session. All right. Listen, the court of public opinion is the arm of justice that you actually need. Okay. All right. Because we always judge people in the court of public opinion, but we don't actually stand trial. Okay. People just go on Twitter and start recklessly talking about things. They don't go over the facts. There's nobody representing the defendant. I'm not sure if there's anybody there today. I'm not sure if the public defender's here. I don't know if you want to defend this guy, but here's what we're gonna do, because Jontay Porter. All right, B is going to tell you guys what Jontay Porter is, who he is, and what he did, and we're just going to say it already. He's already pled guilty. Right, or we're working out a deal for him. Right, we're trying to get him some leniency. Okay, but let's talk about what happened. If he wants to be bold enough and try to take this to trial, it's not going to go well for him. Okay, we're just letting him know that right now. All right. Yes, gambling man. Yes. Yeah. All right. Now you guys can play the jury, but I'm just letting you guys know. You know, we're in the middle of a plea bargain with him. We're negotiating with him. Okay. What did Jontay Porter do?
Well, first, it's critical that you said I'm going to say who he is, because nobody knows. Jontay Porter is the brother of Michael Porter, NBA champion, plays for the Denver Nuggets. Well, no, he was a lottery pick. Yeah. Jontay Porter is a player for the Toronto Raptors. Not a household name. He started his career in 2020, 2021. He was out of the league for a couple of years. He's back. He's with Toronto. Plays about 14 minutes a game. Not a huge impact guy. In January, he sustained a right eye injury, and he was out I think a game or two. He came back and he played for about, I think it was 4 or 5 minutes, and then re-aggravated that injury and left the game. At that point, he not he, but the under on his line hit everything. Under on points, under on 3-pointers made, under on rebounds, etc. And the under on 3-pointers made, the line was set at 0.5. So it was either he makes 1 or he makes 0. Or more than 0 or 0. But the under on Jontay Porter 3-point makes in a game was the highest paying prop bet of the day. Now, we all know that not enough people know who Jontay Porter is to make that a thing. But whatever, he was injured. So we're going to look past that. Now, fast forward to March. I believe it was in March. He has another game. And he played 3 minutes, took 1 shot and missed, and then came out due to illness. A guy who plays 14 minutes said, I have a tummy ache. I'm going to sit down for the rest of this one. And then again, you get all the unders. And again, he was one of the highest highest paying prop bets in the NBA that day. And so...
Well, hold on. Order, Tanja. Order. She said, guilty. He's guilty.
At least she waited until we started talking. Some people were like, yo, who's the guilty party today? So it looks like maybe Jontay Porter was betting on himself to not hit the overs, and God, what an indictment of his own skills to say, I'm not going to bet on myself to make that shot. I'm going to make sure I miss it. But it looks like he was actually involved in something akin to point shaving. So that's kind of being looked at by the NBA right now. I imagine we have seen the last of Jontay Porter in the NBA. But yeah, it's again, the beginning of a very serious issue for sports because all the leagues are in bed with these bookies.
Yep.
I mean, the NFL has bought into at least one, and they turn around and say, you guys can't bet on sports. Well, some leagues say you can't bet on sports, period. Some leagues say you just can't bet on your sport. But inevitably, you're going to have guys who want to take that risk. uh, and you've already had some high profile players get caught. Calvin Ridley got caught and was suspended. Jameson Williams got caught and was suspended. Jontay Porter, not a high profile name, but there's going to be more coming, I'm sure.
Now,
and it's something the league's got to get out in front of.
Now, Hendo, did you hear about this story beforehand?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the difference between
I'm going to put this up while you're talking, as I just want to see if it works.
Sure.
This is our poll.
Oh, we got a poll covering Hendo's face.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna resize it. We'll resize it. We'll move it. And
oh, nice.
For Jontay Porter, you can go ahead and type in #guilty or #not guilty. I want to see if it actually works here.
All right, interactive here. All right, type that in there.
Nice.
So, the difference between Calvin Ridley, the difference between Jameson Williams, those guys is those guys, they were making bets on FanDuel, whatever, and they weren't betting on their games, right? And from what I understand, they were like minor bets or whatever. Oh, it's moving. The pie's moving.
Yeah.
So
it's not moving in Jontay's favor.
Mikey is stepping up. Is stepping up for him. So
we all know Mike got a big heart.
That's right. That's right, Mike. Not guilty.
So, but the difference is they weren't betting on their team, and they weren't point shaving. Now, point shaving is very serious. If you don't know what that is, right? We know historically what point shaving is, thanks to Pete Rose. Okay, who got banned from the sport.
But Pete Rose bet on himself to win.
Pete wasn't point shaving.
Well, yes. Yeah, well, they don't think. Well, they think he was. He said he wasn't. They don't. They think he was though. Right. But point shaving, like you've had some college basketball players do it in the past. Very bad. Right. Very illegal. Very illegal. And this is before sports betting was legal anywhere. Okay, so it's already illegal to do sports bets. And then you have these scandals where players get caught point shaving, whatever, right? Now that they finally, decades later, roll out sports betting and make it okay in the eyes of the public because it was always frowned upon, right? They're making it more palatable, more welcoming. They are going to lay down the law and come down hard on anybody that gets caught betting, which is why Calvin really had to sit out for a whole year, and he didn't do anything half as bad as what Jontay Porter did. Right? You cannot shave points. I don't care if you're the bench. I don't care if it's the last 2 minutes of the game. You cannot shave points. You cannot bet on yourself. Right. So what he did is the death penalty for him. Okay, like his career is over unless. Okay, no, go ahead, because we.
If you want to see a story about point shaving, I was looking it up there. There's a Netflix documentary called Bad Sport. It's about Steven Smith, who was a guard at Arizona State in 1994, and it was kind of a big time point shaving scandal. It was a very good documentary, so you should check that out. I'm sorry, Hendo, go ahead.
I know you're good. Listen, is he really guilty? Now, if you look at it in a certain way, he may be a victim of society, because I come into the arena, I see all of these sports betting props.
Thank you.
I go watch.
Thank you, internet gods.
Panthers YouTubers. The commercials come on. The commercials come on. They're all for betting. Like, you're just throwing betting in my face all of the time. And also, I play 14 minutes a game, which means I'm not really that good at all. So how can I be point shaving when I just was not one of the best to begin with? Like, I'm a victim of society being brainwashed into betting. I didn't want to bet before this happened, but all of these leagues are in partnerships with all of these people, and it's just got me thinking, hey, I need to bet. And I think it's society's fault for putting me in this situation.
I got a question for you, Jontay. Did you bet in your own name?
Well, you're talking about Jontay's representative here. He's the
he
public defender.
He was speaking in the first person over there. So
listen,
he was going in and out.
He's representing Jontay.
First and foremost, my client did not bet in his own name. He did not bet at all, unless you show me proof. And I'm innocent until proven he's innocent until proven guilty. Unless you have the proof that he actually did it. Now, I understand some things are coincidental. Yes, for the player like him and the props to be that high at that time, these things happen.
Okay, I want a sidebar. I want a sidebar with Hendo you're on a sidebar, okay? Because Hendo wasn't made privy to the conversation we had beforehand.
Like Rick and Ralph.
Listen, online.
The man knew he wasn't feeling it that day. He's a smart man.
You can't determine when you're going to get ill.
You have a valid point where
you've been planning to call out sick all weeks.
Hey, the week ain't over yet.
No, you have a valid point, and it's very alluring to place these bets, right? But I mean, the penalties, man. Like, it's not worth it, especially when he was only making what, $200,000, $400,000, something like that, right? 200 after
he's making 400 some thousand this year. This year.
So, all right, we sidebarred. We had a plea deal in place. That you're his representative. You can take it to him and see if he'll accept it. Now, the only way he's going to get out of this is if he throws himself at the mercy of the court, right? Of the NBA, because maybe they can't prove it legally, maybe, right? And I don't know. There's some strong evidence. I don't know, but but the NBA doesn't need to hit a conviction. If they suspect him, he's finished. He's like, nobody's going to pick him up. He will get at best he'll get blackballed. At worst, he will get a lifetime ban. Okay. Yeah. So either way, he will not be playing again unless he comes out now and says, I'm not even going to waste y'all time. Right. I did it. I'm sorry. Right. I'll never do it again. And he needs to have a press conference. He needs to come out there with his pastor, right, of the church that he's gonna donate some money to, and have that pastor come out. Yes, he's a member of this church. He's a good guy, and he has a problem. It's important that he says that I have a problem, right? I have a problem, and I'm getting help. Okay, and thanks to my church, who's sticking behind me during these tough times. Right. I'm going to be an ambassador for Gamblers Anonymous. Okay. And I will never, place a bet ever again. Yeah. He'll get punished, but he can come back. That's the only way. Otherwise, my man, I guess it's good that Michael Porter is still in the league. He can hit up his big bro for some money.
He said no dice. He said no dice. You have no proof.
Okay. Well, how about this? How about this? We don't suspend Jontay.
Okay.
He just never plays again because he sucks.
Well, that's the other thing too. He's not good.
He said he'll take his chances, and if they blackball him, that's a lawsuit.
How are you going to blackball you?
You can't play. So you know what happens? But you know what happens?
He was already out the league for 2 years.
No. But no.
I can't tell him that your brother's a millionaire. So what?
You know what happens in a lawsuit, right? Deposition happens. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you're under oath, right? And they say, Jontay, did you gamble? Did you bet on yourself? Did you shave points? Is your guy gonna lie under oath?
Yeah, because you can't prove it.
It's facts.
And we can see his character already right now in this little interview we're doing.
Okay.
I mean, I was 0 for 1. I wasn't a great shooter anyway.
And
I got ill. I'm human. We get
man
sick.
says, I have a question for the court. Let's say his brother bet that he wouldn't make those threes. Is he guilty? Yes, he's guilty because it's not about. Not saying he missed shots intentionally. He took himself out of the game to make sure all the unders hit.
He was ill. All the traveling, the hotel food.
That's the other thing
get
too.
sick.
That's the other thing too. The first time he took himself out, you had a built-in excuse. You had an eye injury from previously, right? Fine, nobody's questioning that.
Right.
Saying that you have a tummy ache,
That was dumb.
now I have a migraine.
Well, look, I don't know what illness he made up allegedly, but if you're a pro athlete, you could probably tough it out for 11 more minutes since that's all you were going to play.
All right, look, you took
Fake
your
fall.
chances.
Fake
took
fall
it-
or something. My ankle.
Something.
Something.
All right, you fought valiantly for your defendant, but that's his bad for not taking the plea deal. The pie chart says he's guilty. All
Very
right,
guilty.
very guilty. And the punishment is shame, like Coach said earlier, shame, 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 and more than likely he's finished. Jontay Porter is finished because he's not going to come out and just say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'll take my punishment."
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, right, and show some real remorse, there's always a chance for redemption. But he's not going to do that. He'll drag this out, and there's gonna be like, look, you're not even good. You're not even good enough for us to be wasting our time like this. You're just finished. One way or another, you're finished. Whether we ban you or we just blackball you, you're done.
He said he's going back to Italy. He's going to play for one of them.
Yeah, that's an option, I guess. All right.
If
All
they'll
right.
have you.
You can never prove back pain. You can't prove back pain. You can't prove migraines.
Migraines.
And somebody who suffers with migraines, that's a serious thing. If I tell you I got a migraine, don't question me. Don't question me, and I'm not doing anything. I'm going home. All right. How much you want to bet someone on the Raptors sold him out? No. Here's what happened. He got caught because, Vegas found some. What is it? They found some irregularities in the in the betting on Jontay Porter on those days. Because who's going to bet on Jontay Porter?
Right.
It plays high bets on Jontay Porter. I mean, those are obvious signs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it's $5, okay, cool. You're like $50,000 on
Right.
Porter.
Right. Went to the well one too many times.
Listen, man, you still gotta be smart to be a criminal.
Thanks.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what we got next? That's it. Court is out of session. Is it time for submitted questions?
It is time for submitted questions.
Chris said he had 2 G's on it. What's up,
Lucky
Chris?
man. What's up, man?
Submitted questions time. Let's take down the ticker. All right. So we still have, geez, we got more people on Twitter than we do on YouTube right now. What's
Really?
going on over on Twitter? That's according to EV Mux. EV Mux could be lying. I don't know. But we got over 100 people total watching. Okay.
Nice.
Everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Okay. There's one person on Twitch. Shout out. Now, hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. No big deal. Just go ahead and just do it. Okay. All right. So we can celebrate. Now, we do something over here. Same thing as Coach does on his channel. We give away points. Okay. We have a point system here. Same thing with Hendo. Point system. All right. You get points by participating in the chat. You get points by donating. You get points by subscribing. You get points by signing up to our Patreon. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. And it is well worth the price of admission. Okay. All those things get you points. What do you do with those points? At the end of every month, we give away a prize to the person with the most points. Okay. We let you pick your prize within a certain dollar amount. Now, the second prize is a $25 Amazon gift card. It is a raffle. Okay, to enter that raffle, you have to get 1,000 points. All right, by doing the things that we just told you. Now, if you want a quick 1,000 points, you can go over to our website, LBHTShow.com, and wait for that box to pop up and put in your email right there. That's to sign up for our newsletter. All right, we haven't put it out yet, so don't worry about getting spam. And once we start putting it out, it's going to be hot fire. Okay, but that will give you a quick 1,000 points. You just sign up, send us an email or message, say, hey, I signed up, get 2,000 points, and you'll instantly be entered in our raffle at the end of the month. Now, what we're doing right now, submitted questions. If we read your question on air, then you get more points. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to read some questions.
Yes, we got 3 questions tonight. We're going to start off with a question from Jeremy. He says, thoughts on Hard Knocks in season, focusing on a division, and which division should they choose? I don't have any thoughts on this. Hard Knocks has run its course for me. I don't watch it anymore. When they used to focus on guys struggling to make the team, I thought it was pretty compelling. And then the J.J. Watts of the world decided that they were going to use that as a little branding exercise, and I don't enjoy it. But in terms of what division they should focus on, I'm going to say year one should be the AFC North, because you have 4 good teams in the AFC North, and you have 4 good quarterbacks in the AFC North, and a lot of high-profile players in the AFC North. You got one of the best coaches in the league in Mike Tomlin. You got your 2-time MVP winner in Lamar. You got Super Bowl winner in Russell Wilson. You got Joe Burrow and Deshaun Watson. You have a lot of great offensive talent, a lot of great defensive talent, and a lot of very interesting and intense rivalries. So I would say the AFC North.
What do you say, Hendo?
I rather enjoyed last season with the Miami Dolphins. The end season look, it gave you something to watch, and it was interesting to see certain things, certain dynamics. But like Brodny said, it has run its course a little bit. But if they were to do it, I agree with him. The AFC North should be the division that they do, just simply with all the things that have gone on this offseason. You have Pittsburgh with the Russell Wilson and Justin Fields situation, who's actually going to be their starter. They bringing in some different pieces. They traded Deontay Johnson. You got Cleveland with Nick Chubb returning from injury. Deshaun Watson, what is he going to do? They have Jameis Winston backing him up. You got Baltimore. What are they going to do protecting Lamar Jackson? And then you have Cincinnati. Joe Burrow's coming back from injury. They traded Joe Mixon, and the saga going on with T. Higgins. So it's a little bit of everything going on in the division. So I think the AFC North should be the choice.
I'm disappointed in both of you. Okay. What do people like to see? They like to see drama. Where do you get drama?
From the
NFC East.
17 episodes of You Sign a Deck Yet?
Listen, from them, every team is a disaster over there. Even the good team in Philly and Dallas, there's something disastrous going on over there. Would you not like to have seen what was going on in the Eagles locker room last year?
Yes.
Or the Cowboys locker room all throughout the year, even the Commanders, because they're always a mess. You don't want to hear some of that dialogue. The Giants, man, come on, it's easily the NFC East. I want to see drama.
All right, up next we have a question from Shook. Well, I will save Shook for last because that one's going to be a little while.
Something different.
Next, we got a question from Jay. With the signing of Jadeveon Clowney, is Dan Morgan already better than Mr. Yes Man, referring to Scott Fitterer? Also, why is EDC sitting on his hands and shoulders as a rival team gets better? Dan Morgan is not better than Scott Fitterer yet. We were all on board with the Panthers, early on in Scott Fitterer's tenure and what he was doing. I mean, I didn't like the trades he was making, but you kind of have that extra buy-in when you get a new GM, new head coach, and everybody's kind of on board and everybody's rationalizing every move that you make. So no, once we get to September and they start playing and the the team is better than what they look like over the last few years, then he's better than Scott Fitterer. But until then, these are all just moves on paper.
Yeah, he's more aggressive than Fitterer. I give him that much. Like, he's actually going out there and grabbing hold and trying to make this team a contender. I can't say that he's better. Like you said, time will tell. And as far as EDC, this is what EDC does. Like, he's not a big move maker. He waits for things to come to him and tries to get bargains to kind of look like he's smarter than everybody else. And it's just who he is. So I don't expect anything different.
Yes, he's better than Scott Fitterer already. Okay, because as a fan of the sport, I can have these overreactions with no consequences. Okay, so he's better than Scott Fitterer, and if this year turns out to be a disaster, then he's worse than Scott Fitterer, and I'm going to say that I've always said that. So
he is better by virtue of not trading a 3rd-round pick for C.J. Henderson.
That's true.
Yeah. So this one is from Shug. He says, "What are 2 things that you think are normal but become really strange when you do them repeatedly?" I'm gonna let y'all jump in on that one first.
With these questions, 2 things that you think are normal but become really strange when you do them repeatedly. Well, one is easy: drive to work every day. At some point, you're like, "What am I doing?" Especially if you take a day or 2 off. Don't take 2 days off. Then you go back to where you're like, "What am I doing to my body? What am I doing to my mental health? What's going on here?" So that's 1. 2, man, I don't know.
I'll give you my first one, starting off here, and this is something that I've just learned over the last several years: getting together with friends to talk about sports. It used to be real cool, and now it's real weird.
Okay, I got one. Something that's really weird that you keep doing over and over again, and you realize it just ain't right.
No, so it's normal, and then it gets weird.
Constantly checking the internet to see Ravens moves during free agency.
Yeah. Now, kind of along the lines of what B was saying, talking to coworkers about sports, especially the ones that know that we have a show. Right. And this ain't that Shank, because Shank's watching. This ain't about Shank. Shank asks good questions. But there are coworkers, I shouldn't even say coworkers, just anybody that knows we have a show. Right. And they want to rehash everything that we talked about. Right. Mm-hmm. See, my friend Shank, he'll ask me questions because he'll be like, "Okay, well, who's this person? I'm like, who's this guy you're talking about?" Okay, let me give you some context to that. Right. But I have friends that will hit me up after the show and ask me questions about what we talked about on the show. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, watch the video. Right? Or they'll see me and they'll be like, "Yeah, so what do you think about EDC not signing by the O-line?" Well, damn, I've been talking about it on this show. I talked about it on Monday on the Ravens Roundup. I talked about it last week in the video we put out. Like, damn, man, like you ain't seen none of them.
I think that we talked about this before, but it goes back to something that Jim Rome used to talk about on his radio show, where he's like, people would stop him in public and be like, "Hey, yo, what do you think about the Lakers this year?" Right? And he's like, "And I know you don't care what I think about the Lakers this year. You're just standing there smiling, waiting until I get to the end of my sentence so that you can tell me what you think about the Lakers this year." I think that's really what it is. They don't. Yeah, it's not like, "Oh, what do you think about EDC?" No, I'm going to tell you what I think about EDC and why you're wrong.
Facts.
See, now Mikey feels my pain. He says, "Driving to work every day, I contemplate about becoming the kingpin instead." Yeah. You drive to work every day. You're like, what is the point of this? Okay, I be saying says use the bathroom. There you go. All right. Should with the thought-provoking questions. All right. Did we both answer too? I think so.
Right. Pay bills.
Yeah.
Paying bills.
True.
Yeah.
What's up, Agent E?
What's up?
What's up, man?
Like the background. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, but I think that's about it, right? I mean, we didn't even actually talk about the court of public opinion that we were going to,
No, we'll say
uh,
that for
which
the
which is
overtime
why I
show.
tell you only one, only one,
Only one what?
but only one topic for court of public opinion.
Well, we did one.
I know, but it wasn't the one that we were going to do. It was the one that you said, "Hey, yeah, we'll just talk about it real quick," and then we talked about it for the entire time.
Wait, what was the other one?
Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, I was thinking about Kim Mulkey.
No.
That's
I
where
thought
yeah.
we weren't going to do that one because that article hasn't come out yet.
Right.
Yeah, but that's why I say we could do it real quick.
Yeah, but we got to have the content. We don't even know what she's deflecting from right now.
Okay, all right.
We know
so,
she did it,
all right,
but we don't know. We don't know what.
You know she's
All right,
guilty.
guys, we've entered bonus time. Now, and then we're gonna
I thought we had entered gone leaving time.
no, you still got to do trivia. All right, but
Do we?
but
I don't know.
quick bonus, quick
little
bonus,
something
quick.
in that we're gonna let you in on, Jose. You weren't here.
Oh yeah, you weren't, were you?
I did not have a trivia question for tonight.
Oh my god.
Hendo came up with one off the top of his head.
Okay. Okay. Hold. Okay. All right. So let's talk about Kim Mulkey real quick. Kim Mulkey, the head coach for LSU women's basketball team. I didn't want to say women's basketball team anymore because they're the more dominant sport. Okay.
Right.
The men's done. That's over with. So when you hear talking about college basketball, the default is the women's. All right. That's just what it is. So Kim Mulkey, she's trying to get ahead of a story from the Washington Post about her. Don't know exactly what it is. She knows what it is. And she's out there saying that, hey, they're being unfair and they're not getting my side. And, if they put out anything that's slanderous, I'm going to sue. Now,
That's my
obviously,
favorite part is like she didn't even really deny what's going to be coming out. She said
Right.
they ignored 40 years of good stories.
Yeah.
Well, not a great defense, Kim.
Nobody knows what she's talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and say she is guilty.
And
all
it's
right?
bad.
It is really bad. When you're threatening to sue and nobody knows what you're talking about, the article hasn't come out yet, right? And you're just like, I'm going to sue if you say something slanderous. I mean, that's obvious, right? Like, if somebody says, hey, we want to write a story about lunch break hot take. Yeah, okay, cool. That's our first thought is, oh, all right, Now, if it comes out and it's, they making stuff up, okay, yeah, I'm out to get, legal representation at that point. But if it's, even if it's bad, even if it's, hey, those guys are really hard on the Ravens. Okay, that's the way you see it. That's fair. We'll laugh at it. We'll chuckle at it. But our first reaction isn't, you better not slander me. I'll sue you.
Right.
I'd be saying I think most of the dirt on Kim is right on the surface. I don't think they had to do a whole lot of digging. Nobody likes her.
So, yes, she's guilty. There's nothing, LSU is always guilty, Jeremy says.
It's a terrible thing to say.
They dug up dirt on her.
Maybe.
Yeah, and like B said, that dirt's on the surface. That's not hard to find. And she actually brought more attention to herself. A lot of people in the media kind of discussed this and chuckled at it. They're like, nobody reads the paper anymore. So let them put this story out. Who's going to really talk about it?
Yeah. It would have. I mean, obviously depending on how bad it is exactly. But if it's just kind of a run-of-the-mill scandal type of story, it would have just come and gone.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. People don't really care, especially when you're successful at what you're doing. But when you call attention to it, now everybody's waiting. Now it's appointment reading.
People are pre-ordering the papers.
Right. Yeah, everybody waiting for that link to drop. It's like an album release.
Right.
It's gonna have more downloads than Kendrick Lamar.
Every day, people get on Twitter. That that new Mulkey out yet? Like, no.
That's dead. It's coming.
Shohei Ohtani, we'll say that for the overtime show. All right. Overtime show. I don't think I put the promo up, but overtime show. Okay, that's on our Patreon. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right. as little as $5. Okay, they have other tiers, but $5 is the low bar to get in. Trust me, it's worth it. I know you have it. Just go ahead and spend that money real quick. Okay, we're giving you an overtime show. You can sign up to our Discord. Once you're in the Discord, you're in. Okay, we don't boot anybody out unless you ask for it.
On that
Okay,
weird stuff.
yes, unless you're on that weird stuff. But sign up to the overtime show. It's a lot of fun. You know, we start out with 1 or 2 topics and then just kind of goes into whatever we want to talk about. But I can tell you right now, okay, after we get done with our main topic, I already know we're going to get into some Diddy talk, okay? Just Aloe says, where was Kim Mulkey when Jerry Jones was fighting integration? Yeah.
Look at that pic one more time. Oh man!
I should have uploaded that pic. I gotta find that pic. So the main topic, which you'll see in the thumbnail when you sign up, is the Eli Manning effect. Okay, you've heard this being floated around the last couple of weeks. The Eli Manning effect. That is players going into the draft saying, "I'm not going to play for this team. Not going to play for that team." Okay, that's what Eli Manning did. That's what Archie Manning did. Really representing Eli Manning, saying, "I will not play for the Chargers." How many of you guys know that he actually was drafted by the Chargers? He was drafted by the Chargers. They're like, we're not going there. And then the Chargers traded him to New York, and they end up getting Phillip Rivers. Okay. You've heard people say that's what Marvin Harrison Jr. should do. Now, Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't say he's, or Marvin Harrison Sr. didn't say that that's what they're going to do. But people are saying, he's good enough. He should pull that. Now, Deion Sanders said that's exactly what Shedeur Sanders is going to do, and Travis Hunter. All right. So we're going to have a full discussion about that, and I'm going to tell you why I like it. That's on the overtime show. So if you have $5, all right, you got it. Just $5. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. That's where you go. Sign up. Okay. We're doing the overtime show. We do that every Wednesday after the main show. That's coming up pretty soon. All right. So, B. Oh, yes, Hendo's got the trivia. What you got for us, Hendo?
All right. Women's college basketball.
Okay.
What is the only school university to participate in each and every NCAA tournament since its inception? It's only one.
In women's?
In women's college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's it. Trivia time. This is 4 points.
Answers should be real easy.
I think I know who it is. And I like to preface this by saying, don't copy Jose, okay?
Because Jose's always wrong.
I'm not going to lead you to the well. I'm going to lead you to more dirt, all right? But I'm going to say UConn.
You are...
You can't say nothing yet.
I know. That's why I stopped myself.
I'm going to say UConn. But this is for points. First 3 that get it right, get points. All right? So I see a couple of answers in there. All right.
It's 3 right answers.
You're right. Oh, okay.
We got them already. It was a fairly easy one. But easy. Congratulations to Buck.
Tennessee. Oh.
To Shug. And to Just Aloe, the Tennessee Volunteers. Formerly led by Pat Summitt.
Love you, Pat Summitt.
The greatest college basketball coach of all time, next to Coach K.
Thanks. Neck and neck.
I always thought she should have been the first woman to be a head coach in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And especially when the Grizzlies came to town, I was like, perfect. Perfect. There's your coach right there.
Ferris, what's the question? The question is done.
The question is, why are you late?
Yeah. Every time, bro.
At least he showed up this time. At least he showed up this time.
Yeah. The question.
I know, Buck. It was easy.
You didn't even Google it. Good job, Buck. Good job.
I mean, congratulations on a trivia game for saying I didn't cheat, Buck. Way to go, bro.
You guys never Google it when we tell you to Google it.
Right.
Jeremy, Gino could not have been an NBA coach. Gino, he is an awful, awful person.
Egotistical maniac.
Their NBA players would have laughed him out of the gym on day one, like the NFL did Nick Saban.
Nick Saban. Facts.
Yeah, I think I've discussed this with people before. Like, I think Pat Summitt would have had more respect from the players. Like, I know she's a woman;
Yeah.
she'd have been the first one, but I think people. I think she would. The players would have had more respect for her.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right? Gino,
No,
they would have laughed him out the room.
nobody respects Gino.
Nobody. Only Big Reg.
Ferris, again, the question is over. It was, what team is the only team in the history of women's college basketball to make every single NCAA tournament?
And don't answer the question now because we already said it was Tennessee.
Right.
Yeah.
It's over. Okay.
But it's time to go.
It is time to get out of here. Hando, thanks for coming through, man.
Anytime.
Appreciate it. Are you going to meet us in overtime or?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop by there.
Okay, you're going to drive by our overtime. Let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on the Rogue Pod on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, in audio form. You can also come sign up to my Patreon, patreon.com/ROUG. You know, get in the Discord, do some things. I mean, don't forget, don't forget, go over to LBHTs because you can win one of these.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
You can win one of these.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. You can find me every Sunday evening doing a live stream with Brodny on any given Sunday. Then you can find me with Brodny, Jose, Coach, Chris Just Joking, and OTL Mike Monday evenings at 9 p.m. on the Ravens Roundup. Then on Tuesday nights, you can find me at 8 p.m. with my man Dre on Electric Relaxation with Mr. Galloway, followed by 9:45 with myself, Brodny, Suge Knight on Suge Knight 323 doing Steel Conspiracy.
All right. There it is. All right. Look, we still have 65 people here in the chat. There's still a lot of people over there on Twitter. Look, if you're watching on Twitter, man, go ahead and just hit the follow button. All right, hit the follow, then come over to YouTube real quick. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button on your way out. All right, if you haven't subscribed already, we are close to 2,000 subscribers. Hando is close to 4,000 subscribers. All right.
Let me say you one more thing. Excuse me. Do y'all not realize normally when we hit milestones, we give stuff away? Like do y'all not realize that? So getting them to 2,000 might get you something.
I don't know if people remember what we did for the 1,000 subscriber. I'm not saying that's going to be the same thing, but I'm just saying we did something.
That was nice.
If y'all remember it, it's pretty nice. All right. All right. That is it. B, are you ready?
I am ready.
B is ready. Patrons, get ready. The Overtime Show is starting next. Everybody else, have a great night. We'll see you next time. Peace.